What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dirty Bird Fly Through. Welcome back to the Dirty Bird Fly Through if you have already been here. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to share out, and follow the other socials that are down below. And this is not going to be a regular type of recap video because there's really not much to actually dive deep into about yesterday's game. The Falcons were outclassed, outmanned, outdone in every single facet of the game by the 1-6 Miami Dolphins, with their head coach who pretty much already had one foot out of the door, quarterback who was on the verge of going to the bench, had been a turnover machine all season, turns around, has his probably his best game in a couple of years against what is supposed to be one of the top defenses in the NFL. You see Mike McDaniel call an amazing game. The Falcons have zero answer for it, and the offense was just absolutely awful all day. Could not get anything going. We saw that, you know, yesterday was pretty much the epitome of of everything that is wrong with this Falcons team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. The Falcons offense has been figured out at this point. Every single team has figured this Falcons team out to a T. It's very concerning when you see guys coming out from the other team saying that they know the exact play that you're running and then you end up running that exact play. That goes to show that you have no creativity. It is week 8 and the bag of tricks has already been fully revealed. And teams are going to know how to stop you. And with this strategy that the Falcons currently have, it's not going to win them many more games. Let's cut through it. Let's be completely real. The Falcons, as it currently stands, are not a good football team. How come is it that you can beat a Buffalo, but then lose a game to Miami? And I'll tell you this: it's what an inconsistent team like the Falcons they do. That's just who the Falcons are under Raheem Morris. They have always been an inconsistent team. They're always going to do just enough to keep people balled in, but they're never going to get the job done. And, for that, you have to really wonder, did the Falcons make the wrong decision? Which they did. They made the wrong decision in bringing Raheem Morris back to be the head coach. They made the wrong decision with Zach Robinson. And Raheem Morris, if he was with any other organization, would have already have been fired. However, this is the Atlanta Falcons. We're not going to fire Raheem Morris even after an embarrassing performance like this. Everyone who we see will essentially be here until the end of the year. That includes Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson. The only way that doesn't happen, which I would not fully rule out, is if we see the Falcons end up going on a major 5 or 6 game losing streak, which I don't think is impossible at this point. I think that there's a very big concern with the Falcons, that is the state and the health of the locker room, and where really is belief in the what the Falcons have set up, especially with Raheem Morris. Are players going to be receptive to his message? Raheem Morris is not doing anything as productive in meeting rooms. All he's basically doing is standing up there and saying that he's going to get it fixed, and it's never fixed. It's a bag full of excuses and no actual accountability, because taking accountability for something is not just admitting you're wrong, but making the moves to correct your wrong. And that is the part that Raheem Morris is missing. And, as long as Raheem Morris is the head coach of this team with the track record, the Falcons will not be a playoff team. They will never fully reach their potential because Raheem Morris continues to hold this team back. Zach Robinson continues to hold this team back. These are not NFL coaches. They're not NFL head coaches. I don't even think they're coordinators, honestly. I think the only coach who still, even despite the defense having a pretty poor day yesterday overall, the only coach I still think that is worth anything on the staff is Ulbrich, but we have even seen this defense take a step back the last couple of weeks. The fact that JD Bertrand is out there and continues to get picked on has been an absolute mistake, and he needs to be replaced because if not, then teams are just going to continue to pick on him, and the Falcons defense is going to continue to get exposed further and further. The 49ers essentially showed the league how to beat the Falcons, and every single team is going to take that strategy and beat the Falcons with it. We now head up to Foxborough next to take on the Patriots, led by obviously new head coach Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel, I'm telling you right now, especially if the Falcons go in to New England with the game plan that they have going in with every game this season, essentially, you thought this week was bad. Next week might get worse because it's going to be absolutely painful probably to see what's actually going to happen, regardless of if it's Michael Penix or Kirk Cousins. It does not matter, and we saw that yesterday. It does not matter who the quarterback is. This is a coaching issue because the same things that a lot of people were wondering about Penix, we saw it with Kirk. This is not a offense that is capable of reaching its full potential because you don't have a playbook that uses players to their full potential and to their strengths, and you have some very stubborn coaches, including Zach Robinson, who continue to think that no matter what, their strategy is eventually going to work. And it's not. It's not going to work. You can't continue to just hope and pray that something is going to work. As far as one more thing, I truly feel like at this point the Falcons they need a leader of this football team. Because I think if you ask anybody who is really the leader of the Falcons right now, as far as that locker room goes and players go, it's a tough question to answer, and it's really tough to get a pulse on. We knew for years and years it was Grady Jarrett. With Grady Jarrett now gone, someone did not just have to step on the field. Someone had to step up in the locker room and be that locker room presence and be that person to hold guys in check, and the Falcons do not have that. And that is clearly showing when the coaching has full control over the team and is able to continue selling the Kool-Aid, nothing is going to change. The only way that things are going to start changing, I think, is if we start to actually see accountability. And I'm talking real accountability, not even among coaches, but among players. We're going to need to see one guy step up, and that's Michael Penix. Michael Penix at this point is going to have to step up if he wants a real chance of things changing in his career, getting on the right track potentially. A change will definitely have to be made. Now, as far as the rest of the season goes, you know, I've always said I'm always going to be here for this team, and I still plan on doing preview videos. I don't know what they're going to look like now, and I hate that this really isn't a recap. This is more of a rant, but I wouldn't be shocked if this is the last one for the season. Everything went wrong, and really, I mean, there's no excuse to make. There's no There's probably no coming back from it. You're just gonna have to live with it at this point, basically. So, with that being said, I know this was a short video, but I just had to really get some things off my chest. There was no point in actually recapping this game because the bottom line is this: everybody on Miami's offense, it felt like, went off, and nobody on Atlanta was able to do anything. No one was able to cause damage. Bijan Robinson only got the ball 12 times. And let me tell you something. When you have one of the best players in football and he's only getting the ball 12 times, that is a mistake. You are making an absolute mistake. And I'm telling you right now, you have seen what your team looks like at its best when it wins. And that doesn't mean giving Bijan Robinson the ball 12 times in a game. That means giving it to him 12 times, probably at least a half. So that's the first Falcons screw up that we have seen. Not giving the ball to your playmaker when you should. And that's really it. There's nothing else to talk about. The Falcons were absolutely beaten in every aspect of the game, and it's really hard to be able to look forward at this fight, and we'll get a couple days to do so, and really just see what's next. And I don't know what's next for this team. I don't know what this team looks like next week. I don't know what they look like in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be about the Falcons over here. Always going to be about the support, and I appreciate all of the support. Also, want to say, ending this on a lighter note, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Really am thankful for that. With that being said, appreciate everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.